I used to love this when I was a kid. So excited I found it. First, we're going to start with 2 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour, then 2 cups of plain old white granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Put a little powder in that. Hold on. Boom, there we are. Now all we're going to do is mix these together right quick. Whenever you get these dry ingredients together, it's going to make sure that we got those all combined really, really evenly. Perfect. Now we're going to put that aside for just a hot second. Next up, we're going to get our saucepan out, okay? You don't need a big one for this because it's going to be a very small recipe. First, you're going to put in 2 sticks of butter. That's going to come to 1 cup. Prefer unsalted if you like it. If you've got a preference, go for it, but unsalted is what I prefer, so that's why I use it. 2 sticks is going to make 1 cup, okay? Beautiful. Now then, what we're going to add to that is the magic ingredient. That's what makes this cake so incredibly special. Just a little bit of this dark chocolate, okay? The cocoa powder, but it's the dark chocolate kind, all right? Now to that, we're going to add 5 tablespoons of that right in there. And then 1 of these little pony cans of Coca-Cola. It's supposed to be a cup, and these come out to right under a cup. So we're just going to go ahead and pour that in. I wish you'd see how that froths up. God, I love watching that. It's so good. So what you're going to do is put that on the iron. You're going to bring those to almost a boil for about 10 minutes while we get the rest of this recipe together, okay? Beautiful. Now remember those dry ingredients we put together? Super. Now here's that Coca-Cola cocoa mixture we made just a moment ago. Pour it right over the top. Please be careful. It is still super, super hot. Use your spatula to get all the last little drops out of the bottom of that saucepan. And then all we're going to do is just blend it together, okay? Going to be super, super simple at this point. Yes, please. Now, what we're going to do is make sure that we get all of those dry ingredients mixed in with that chocolate mixture, and then we're going to add a few more wet ingredients. First, we're going to have a 1/2 cup of buttermilk. Beautiful. Now, we're going to add 2 large eggs to the bowl. Great. And then just a teaspoon of vanilla. All right, I like to use the good stuff. There we go. And get right back to it. Now we've got all these new wet ingredients. We're going to blend that in really, really well. Combine them so that you get those yolks busted up. So you get that vanilla really well distributed, and you want to make sure that buttermilk's really well in there too. Perfect. Look at that, how gorgeous. It'll still have a few bubbles on the top. Don't worry about that. Next, you get your 9x13 baking pan, and you just blast that sucker to death with some Pam cooking spray, okay? We don't want it sticking. God, it's such a pain in the neck when it sticks. Beautiful. Pour the entire contents of that batter bowl right down there into the 9x13. Use that trusty spatula to get the last little drips and drops out of it. Perfect. Now you're going to put it in a 350-degree oven for 40 minutes, 40, okay? Now, in the last 10 minutes, what we're going to do is get ready for our icing, okay? So again, we're going to get that little saucepan, and this time we only need 1 stick of butter. We're only using 1/2 cup of butter on this one, all right? Perfect. Unwrap that, just drop it down the bottom of the saucepan. I don't like using a non-stick, so I just use stainless steel. Now for this one, we're going to use only 3 tablespoons of this unsweetened cocoa powder. Remember, special dark. We love the dark. It's so good. And then 1/2 of one of these little pony cans. It says 9 tablespoons, but I think 1/2 a can is about the same thing. So you're just going to pour that right on top. You're going to mix all those together over high heat. You're going to bring it to a boil, then remove it from the heat, add a teaspoon of vanilla, and blend it up really well. Now this is 4 cups of sifted confectioner's sugar, and there is that cocoa powder, butter, Coca-Cola, and vanilla mix. This is our icing, okay? Just so you know exactly what it is we're doing here. You're going to scrape all of that out, put it on the top, and then just whisk all this together because this is our icing. Now at this point, we've got maybe 5 minutes left on the baking of the cake, okay? Great. Look at that, how beautiful. Smooth, delicious. Make sure you get all the powder off the walls and the bottom of the bowl. Mix it right in there with your liquid, okay? Good, good, good. Now then, we're going to set that aside because our cake is just about finished. Going to lay down our pot holders and get ready to take it out of the oven. Bring out the cake. Look at this beauty. Oh my goodness, yes, so pretty. Now we're going to use some marshmallow cream, and we're going to put several large dollops on the top. They said 7 ounces. I don't think that's nearly enough. You just go crazy with this stuff. Just go absolutely ape. Cover the top, and then let it sit for about a minute, maybe 2, to get real good and melty so you can spread it around the top of the cake. See how it's starting to spread and melt? Perfect. Now take that spoon or spatula or whatever and just sort of like rub it around on the top of the cake. Now we're almost done. We're not there yet. Beautiful. Get some great coverage with that marshmallow cream. And then what we're going to do is get ready with that gorgeous icing that we just made. Yes, please. You continue to whisk it to make sure it doesn't develop a skin before you drizzle it over the top. And then you just literally, very gently, very easily put it all over the top of that beautiful Coca-Cola cake and that marshmallow cream topping. Oh my God. Now see, this is the icing. The marshmallow cream is just sort of like a buffer. And whenever this thing cools, it's going to have that nice little crispy but soft middle marshmallow layer and this gorgeous cooked icing that has its own skin on the top and that fantastic cake underneath. Oh my goodness. It's childhood in a 9x13 pan. Eat up, y'all. Enjoy. Bring over the neighbors, y'all, and just, God, get after it. Man, you'll be the most popular kid at the cookout, don't you know? Eat up, y'all. Woo!